coefficient. Oh, and my English sick. My James is sick. Coefficient is simply, it's also known as the numerical coefficient. But we don't like saying that because that's really long, so we just say the coefficient. And what it simply is, it is the number in front of a variable. Okay, in other words, if you have 4xy plus 3x, oh, let's just go plus t. Okay, this is the coefficient. It's always that number that's in front of the letters. Coefficient. As would this be a coefficient? Does the letter T have a coefficient? Emma Price?
Yes.
Thank you. It is?
Yeah.
Very good. The numerical coefficient of that is in fact a 1. It's just not seen there. Okay? Now, here it gets a little dicey when you look at something that looks like this. If you have x over 5, what is the numerical coefficient of that? If I asked you to write down the numerical coefficient, okay, think about it like this. The numerical coefficient is what number times the variable. What number is getting multiplied times the variable? And if you look at this number here, Lucas Spaniel, what number is getting multiplied by the variable?
X.
X is not a number, X is the variable.
Oh.
The numerical coefficient, that's the variable. What's the?
5.
That is not, because this 5x, that's when 5 is the numerical coefficient. That is not the case with that one.
It's 1.
That would be this. Simply x is a numerical coefficient of that. It's not 1. You have to break this down. What would I multiply x by to end up with this? And I wouldn't expect you necessarily to know this, but really, the numerical coefficient on this, the numerical coefficient is 1/5. Okay, when there's only a bottom number and no number on top, it's going to be a 1/5. Simply because if I take 1/5 times x, oops, put it out there. How do I make x a fraction? I put it over 1. What do you get when you multiply 1 times x? X. What do you get when you multiply 5 times 1? 5. If it would be this, what if it was 3x over 8? The numerical coefficient to that would be, Vicky Kala?
3.
Nope. That wouldn't give you the fraction. See, if I multiply 3 times x, I get 3x. That's not the same thing as 3x over 8. The numerical coefficient there would be, Colonel Shellhammer? Very good. 3/8, because 3/8 times x gives you this. And that's what you have to watch out. When there's a number on the bottom, it's going to be a fraction all numerical coefficient. If you had 3m over 5, the numerical coefficient is, Nathaniel? 3/5. If it is b over 6, the numerical coefficient is, Nikki Bella?
1/6.
1/6. If it was 137r, the numerical coefficient is, Jeremy? 137. Got that? So it gets a little dicey there. And then in math, we also have things that are called, new piece of paper.